reached her 60th year on the throne.
A sea of faces, a forest of hands. 60 years on duty, 60 years of being the uncomplaining servant of her subjects.
What's familiar is the protective blanket of reassurance the reign of Queen Elizabeth II has spread in a world which has changed at bewildering speed. Continuity. But it hasn't always been easy, and you can't get continuity by standing still. The monarchy always seems the same, but its inside story is rather different.
She's managed to modernise and evolve the monarchy like no other.
These are rather fun, the roses.
She's seen 12 prime ministers and she's still going strong.
In the second of this three-part series, filmed over a year and a half, we explore how the Queen has kept some grand traditions, while others couldn't survive. How she's tweaked, listened and changed, opening up palaces and supporting a more relaxed royal wedding.
I rang my grandmother up for some clarification on the issue, and Julie got told that it was ridiculous.
She was right, as she always is.
This is the tale of the Queen as quiet reformer and anxious social observer.
We could never forget those who have died or been injured and their families.
She did close a circle of history.
June 2011, and let's start at the more eccentric end of the scale. The Garter Knights of the Realm troop down the hill at Windsor Castle. The Queen has modernised a lot, but it's worth remembering what she hasn't. Not that even this is quite what it appears.
Gold and glitter and pageantry doesn't get much better than this. This is Garter Day, one of the most important emblematic moments in the Queen's year, and the images go all around the world. And yet this is a characteristic example of the Windsor dynasty's great trick of reinventing tradition. Because although Garter Day does go back to the English medieval monarchy, in its modern form, it was invented by the Queen's father in 1948.
So, not that long ago.
Her Majesty and His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh were resplendent in rich medieval robes.
It's a kind of club for the top ranks of society. Former ministers, members of the royal family, the establishment. It's not the easiest part of the monarchy, this. A reminder, perhaps, that for 1,000 years, monarchs stood on top of a pyramid of aristocrats, landowners and nobles whose power has vanished. The monarchy, though, is a defiant survivor, and orders of chivalry are still taken very seriously.
Well, the Garter is the highest order of chivalry in Britain, and the oldest one as well. It's in the sovereign's personal gift. It's an enormous honour for anybody.
What the public doesn't see is what happens inside the Garter throne room. The dressing and decorating of the new knight, including an actual garter. In this case, it's a judge, Lord Phillips, President of the Supreme Court. And for the Queen, this is hands-on.
Receive this robe of heavenly colour, the livery of this most excellent order.
Monarchy comes barnacled with stately traditions, titles, grandness. But if this was all, if this was the only image of the British monarchy, it surely wouldn't be half as popular as it actually is. In fact, the Windsors have always been acutely aware of public opinion and changing attitudes, and ready to ditch what needs to go.
They're on their way to Buckingham Palace to attend one of the 3 last presentation parties that Her Majesty will hold. Terribly thrilling, but we mustn't show how nervous we feel.
presentation of aristocratic young women, debutantes, at a ball which used to mark the start of the annual London season, a kind of very grand marriage market, was abandoned in 1958, really out of embarrassment. In the tart words of the Queen's late sister, Princess Margaret, every tart in London was getting in. But as the Debs were gently shown one door, other doors were opened. The Queen extended the once traditional and exclusive summer garden parties and opened them up to people from all walks of life, from nurses, builders and bombardiers to care workers and captains, 8,000 at a time, at one of the most open and relatively informal of royal events.
It's nice just to be able to relax and just stroll around in the grounds. It's a beautiful garden down by the lake, and see just how really the great and the good of Britain, you know, get invited here, and it's a lovely day for them. And I think it's great the Queen does it, you know. It's just a fantastic thing to do.
Your plates, your man, your plates. Put a plate in your hand, ready to offer, OK?
Modern world, modern monarchy, which means that the statistics of even garden parties are squinted over and published. So we know each one involves 27,000 cups of tea, 20,000 cakes and sandwiches. Every guest, on average, consumes 14 items each. Very calming, a cake or two.
Really stunning surroundings.
And the food's lovely.
Yeah, we like the food.
The other essential ingredient for a British garden party is, of course, dodgy weather. It would be less interesting if it was always sunny. Less to talk about.
Shelter at once became the most important thing, and every vantage point was soon occupied. It fairly poured down, and at least one guest was trapped.
Away from the formal diary and the spotlights, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh have spent a lot of time reaching out to key figures in a changing country.
I mean, I think it's incredibly important for the young performers of all the different arts to be recognised at an early age, because I think it is so incredibly encouraging to feel that you're accepted by your culture, by your society, by your royal family, by the status quo, because so often I think performers, especially young performers, feel they are on the outside of society, and in many ways they are, and so they should be, because they have to challenge the status quo.
People, of course, associate, a lot around the world, lots of people associate you with the Queen because of the film.
Well, in a ridiculous way, which is completely wrong. But
what does she mean to you?
You know, apart from my sister, she's the only other person who's been a total constant in my life ever since I was, you know, came to consciousness. The Queen was there. And that's an incredible kind of rock to have in your life, I think. Nice to see you too.
One gets the impression that a lot of these things are sort of decided by committees looking at long lists. Actually, how much is the Queen herself involved in who she wants to celebrate, who she wants to come here?
Hugely. This is the Queen's guest list. No one comes here without the Queen having extended that invitation.
And how much briefing does the Queen need to absorb for an event like this? Because she will be presumably meeting huge numbers of people she hasn't met before?
Well, the Queen's been involved in this evening from its very conception. So as the work has gone on here to develop the ideas that you'll see later, the Queen's been involved at every step along the way, so not a lot of briefing because she's built it up with the rest of us.
It's a humbling experience to meet the Queen, I think, and I'm a strong believer in the arts, and I think the support of the arts and all these wonderful people that are here, that have been here for years.
One of the other things tonight's done for me is it made me actually quite proud of the industry I'm in. Yeah. And often or not, I'm a bit ashamed of it. But actually, tonight I feel quite proud of it because I've met some great people and doing some great things.
New York, essentially. I've been here now 8 years. actually was the very first time that I've met the Queen. It's only a shame because there's no pictures. You know, they don't allow pictures, so there's no, you know, you can't go, hey, look, hey,
That's me and the Queen.
Sis, that's me and my, you know, that's
One of the longest-running campaigns of reaching out was created by the Duke of Edinburgh, a man well known for his direct small talk. His award scheme has helped more than 7 million young people test themselves, achieve more, push harder, with the Duke often presenting the Gold Award personally, as today at St James's Palace.
No. People were walking around the inside.
Senior members of the royal family have to cultivate a skill almost nobody else needs. It's a carefully timed dance through the higher small talk, designed to calm the nervous, restrain the over-talkative, release some tension, produce a little bubble of laughter, and in that way ensure that millions of people leave events like these having had some sort of personal connection with, in this case, the Duke of Edinburgh, but in general, the British monarchy.
And you all walked, did you, for your...
No, I kayaked, sir.
Kayak?
Yeah, along the River Tweed.
You've been down the River Tweed, then?
Yeah, from the start to finish, which was good.
That's a long way, isn't it?
Yeah, we drove up to the source and then started kayaking down all the way to the mouth.
It's brilliant. You see, you all got lost walking. It gets dumped at the top of the river and floats down.
So how do the royals learn these techniques? It's a kind of trade, with its trade secrets and its special skills. Most days of the year, the entire working royal family are spread around the country, from town halls to schools, hospitals and to charities they've personally chosen to support. Everybody gets their bit of time. This is a huge undertaking, around 4,000 engagements a year between them. So, how do they do it?
Is this an evening off in some respects?
You learn by watching, by listening, by, as it were, first of all, being in the background.
I've got so many memories, very fond memories of when I was younger and growing up and trying to be sort of not getting in the way of all sorts of engagements or, you know, events that were going on and realising when I got sort of stiff hit round the back of the head that it was probably time to sort of behave.
I think the first engagement I did was my father volunteered me to give leeks to the Welsh Guards on St David's Day.
Did the Queen help you in terms of how to do these kinds of things?
Well, that first engagement probably came with helpful instructions in the sense of a structure of the day and the level of expectation, but not much more than that.
She very much leaves the family to go off and find their own way. If you get it wrong, stand by. You'll be put back in your place, which, you know, quite rightly so. But she very much lets us get on with it and choose our own sort of choose what we want to support.
But how do they choose? The Queen's granddaughters are getting to the age when they're considering how much to contribute of their time. So what causes are on their minds?
I had an operation when I was 12, so I'm hopefully looking into helping other people have learn about the condition I had so they can help.
Right. Can I ask what that was?
Scoliosis of the spine. It's when you curve.
Right.
So your bones, that's where you're born. But lots of people have it, and lots of children, when they're diagnosed, don't really know what it is. So
there's something you can bring your own experience to help other people.
I know about it. I'm not just talking from no experience. I know about this kind of thing, and especially Beatrice is doing
dyslexia in education. I think that's something that's really important.
Very important subject.
Especially primary education, which is something that was when I got diagnosed with dyslexia at age 7. You know, everyone was sort of thinking, oh, why is she so slow to read? Why is she so slow? And it was, you know, something that I think you could recognise it a lot sooner and get the support there and then. And then, you know, you can kind of go through your life with knowing that you had a little bit more support.